Cái đầu nó kia là đầu prang, đầu đây là sa lá. Ban sầm là riêng kinh tế thì sẽ cho tròn vút lạnh trắng ruộng thép con nó sa rạt làm brick nó càng kali nè block tức block đây nu mà này tròn á cái gì nữa
thanh lai nè
cái gì đó
đấy muốn thôi
thấy không
đây nha.
One of the tour guides here at the park. Welcome to the world-famous Universal Studios Tour.
I'm Lisa. In just a few minutes, we're going to board on a train for a tour of Lucia that can last as long as 1 hour.
That's right, an hour. Because of the length of the tour, we strongly recommend that you use the restrooms here in the Grand Plaza before you board the tram.
Please ask for the assistant with any studio tour guides. Once on board the train and the gates are closed, for your safety and those working at the studio, please remain inside the tram at all times. All set? Let's go.
During the tour, please keep your arms and all items inside the tram. If you need any kind of guest
Menu mà nè tròn
a medical emergency, or you don't
Then-
find value off the side of the tram, do not jump off the tram. This is not safe for you and the studio. Instead, reach
Hả?
overhead and pull the red cord that runs down the center of each car. Your guide will be back to the system as soon as it is safe to do so.
Video đó dập
Please remain seated and do not exit the tram on your own for any reason. Wait for your guide to provide assistance. We can't emphasize strongly enough how important this is. Remain seated and inside the tram at all times while on the tour. We appreciate your cooperation. Thanks so much and enjoy your visit to the world-famous Universal Studios tour.
We'll see you on the back lot.
Hollywood menu tròn á Hollywood nó khang California sa ra America menu tròn
ta lấy nên bao mà đang xem mà đô la hay còn một cái mình tính nè rồi à má thằng nó xong rồi đó rồi nó xe nữa
Es que vamos a pasar por ahí. Pero en la noche de referencia. Sí, en la noche nos van a bajar. Otra vamos a pasar.
Now you will distribute
Bây con
the
đi ra
expert
theo
walk
qua
and
quá.
know about
Ồ. Nói nó có miệng thức lá đó, cái miệng mà.
Đó cái người từ toàn bạn đó nó đặt hàng đi quân không? Nó bắt đầu nó bạn đó đặt hàng đi quân. Đi mới lại mày nè. Thì phí của lại rút tộc cả. Thì bây không có mấy luôn.
Nó nếu mà một hai chục mấy
Thì quân lấy rồi. Đó là phép lớn giờ mình cùng rồi.
Cái lại này còn lên trên nó. Dạ. Ờ. Mò. Đu được sao?
Đây này.
Những cái nó ngày nay ngày
Là ở đây thì án.
đất cùng cơ ngon.
Okay, guys, I'll check in with you guys later.
Yang California, seorang Amerika.
Buôn mấy con tính nó không xong đó. Mình không được được khẩu không xong. Mừng.
Mong.
Hollywood. Vô đỡ cái đom mắm không? Chẳng mà hỏi flow ấy, đó bạn cho anh đón này người muối. Bọt cho bọt là vô điểm. Mưa bọt còn là không mắm. Gặp mơn hả?
Tròn mềm thế.
Khoản của đây có nữa.
Đấy, mưa bên đây nha. Quảng mưa bên đây này.
Cộng với rồi đấy á, cộng rồi đấy.
Đấy. Hành kim không?
Hello. Cùng nó Amerik. Khang California. Hollywood. Nó lại khang cái trắng ruộng. Thép dần đấy ra ruộng. Dù nó pin á.
Bạn chèo vàng đá lên. Tôi bạn chèo vàng đá luôn. Tôi bạn chèo vàng đá luôn.
Nó có mưa tôi khỏi trên khung. Quay khỏi.
Đấy đó, tôi bạn chèo vàng đá đó. Anh chèo vàng đá tính không?
Có chẳng cái chữ trốn này. Trái quẩy nữa mà.
Này, cô tôi đã liên chuyện á.
Cũng mới có món
Anh chị bạn chị.
Dạ, đang slon.
Nếu mà mặn Việt á, mà mặn mọi người 10 cái 2 Việt á.
Đây là tất cả đó.
Màu Americ ban một khe rồi một là hàng chẳng côn Hollywood nó sẽ rồi Americ hàng Californiaถ้ามันเตาได้มันถ้าเตาเมียนฟุตบอลศาสนาแต่สกอลtrong tàu đó lên tàu lại ná này
kè rồi mình thôi đó
trong tàu đó lên tới tàu lâu na của lâu na
thì giấy quầy nhà nó chứ phải má
một tháng ai pìa prang cái buồn nó tháng ai đọc bùn prang cái pram trên thế màu da ca mặc khe bùn tháng ai mặc khe bùn tháng ai
Cà tè nó chẳng tạm chạc ai vậy ấy.
Hollywood
Do đào mở đó, lăng đó. Trường vậy nhất định của là Paris đó.
món nó ban buôn vòng nên cừu thành phi chùn mò
Cái mặn này giờ mọi cái quầy thì Studio tour of Studio
camera cho nó khơi bị mất cái bóng thôi các bạn lắng
bán đây rồi đấy
bạn đấy
bán
cái là nghịch mấy
nhanh
camera nó dục thôi thì ngay cái này dục
nó chanh một cái đúng không nó chanh một đúng không
Studio anh mày tha
studio 2 studio bây giờ là những tập
con
con trường anh lên trường này trường lên đấy trường
chơi cái lấy đâu
trường đấy trường anh bán để bán nước bán đấy nào đá tiền bán này đá tiền bán thôi
Welcome to the world famous Universal Studios Tour.
Hi, I'm Lisa. In just a few minutes, you're going to board on a tram or a tour that can last as long as 1 hour.
That's right.
chưa nó máu à
Because of the length of the tour, we strongly recommend that you visit us just here in the Tram Plaza before you board the tram.
máu hết chưa mày ăn máu hết thế là về tour nó có một máu này
Our studio tour ambassadors. Once on board the tram and the gates are closed, for your safety and those working at the studio, please remain inside the tram at all times.
nó có tập miệng làm theo ấy thôi
Let's go.
During the tour, please keep your arms and all items inside the tram. If you need any kind of guest assistance, for instance, a medical emergency, or you drop something of value off the side of the tram,
iPhone này dưới à
of the tram, this is unsafe for you and the next student. Instead,
cho anh chơi nó
go
dùng
ahead and pull out the red cord that runs down the center of each car. This red cord will Your guide will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so.
Thôi.
Please remain seated and do not.
Once again, do not attempt to board this tram until I tell you to do so. Please wait. Please wait. Thank you, you may board.
Urut no sararan dari
You don't need to worry them yet. I want you to know you only need to pick up part.
¿Vamos a quedar a orilla?
Usually there's not much going on we can have. The nurses out there working. So just in case, let me tell you what your zone is. If I say on your side, this pops up on the screen. It means I see the next one. And I'm going to go play it quickly so our audio doesn't mess up their audio. He was putting that on the chat. It depends on productions are pretty sensitive.
Well, hey, welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome on board the world-famous Universal Studios Tour. We're going to be heading out of here in a couple of moments. But this time, though, do make sure you are sliding on over to the right-hand side, filling in those available seats. Though those gates look like they are already closing, so watch your arms, your legs, your fingers, and toes. You don't want to lose those. Hey, my name's Alec. I'm going to be your tour guide. What a pleasure to have you guys on board the tram. Now, before hopping on board, you should have picked up a pair of 3D glasses. If you do not have a pair, raise your hand right now. Be dramatic about it. It's the only way to be seen here in Hollywood. Road. Listen to Frankie. Remain seated throughout today's tour. Keep arms and legs inside of the vehicle. Wait, no, don't listen to Frankie. No smoking or vaping of any kind. And be prepared today. Hey, our tour, it will feature loud noises, pyrotechnics, set in tram movements, and water effects. We want you to take as many photos, selfies, TikToks as you are able, but hey, keep those cameras, those phones safe. And just about 8,000 movies made. Universal has been a staple here in Hollywood since the beginning. And since the beginning, we have considered ourselves a city dedicated to the making of cinematic. But the set itself looks a little different than it did when filming because we have also seen it in Gremlins, Ghost Whisperer, Saving Mr. Banks, the first ever episode of The Twilight Zone, Rutherford Falls, TED TV, and more. Lots get filmed at Courthouse, not nearly as much as what gets filmed here. Now this intersection, Jungkook to the left-hand side tried to cross the street for his music video 7, almost got hit by a car. To the right, the theater marquee Taylor Swift made her music video Wildest Dreams. Pink's Walk Me Home. Billie Eilish, she's been out here multiple times, right? And plenty of music videos and, of course, TV, right? Just about every television show I mentioned on the front line, including a show called A Man on the Inside. Ted Danson's character, well, he infiltrates a retirement home in that series. And, well, he often can be found hanging out on the rooftop of that retirement home. That rooftop is here to the right, what we call London Square, where the pergola is. They just added a brick wall. Ted Danson's character often found leaning against that brick wall, staring out at the San Francisco skyline. Well, there is no San Francisco skyline, right? We just added that digitally, right? They never went to San Francisco, let alone the ground floor. Right. Now, of course, plenty of movies have been made out here. Captain America, the first Avenger, right? When the Cap first gets his powers, he's running through the streets in 1940s New York. That happened. Shia LaBeouf ran down the street for Paramount's Transformers, buildings blowing up on either side. The Purge, Anarchy, The Prestige with Christian Bale. Productions after productions have used the exact same street, though, more often than not. It is modern-day New York.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
And of course, on your screens, you are looking at what this set would look like on any given day of production, right? The amount of GAC, gear, crew, and equipment that it takes to film even a short scene like what you just witnessed, well, it is truly immeasurable. I mean, for every about one actor on screen, there's often about 10 crew people behind the camera, right? You got to consider all the... A lot of the time, we don't even build what the camera is seeing. No, we do it later on the computer using CGI. And at least that's what we did for Peter Jackson's King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on.
It ends up being Attack of the Giant Duck? King Quack, I call him? Duck Kong, whatever you prefer. There is another reason, though, why special effects like this don't work, and it is because you want to create an experience that's larger than life.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island.
That's right, folks. For that reason, I'm going to remind you to please remain seated. Hold on to your loved ones, giant donuts and wands. Secure those belongings and have a tight grip on the cell phones. The road ahead, it is bumpy. And I mean that literally. The 3D glasses, go ahead, put them on. Another friendly reminder to hold on. After all, adventure awaits.
there's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where the people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Graffiti artists, and that goes to show we truly work with artists of all kinds, including music artists, right? I mean, not only have we made music videos here, we are able to record again. All right, we'll be back to assist you. In the meantime, hey, take a look at these classic monsters.
Listen now, the monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Your torches and go!
Right around the corner. Brandy, Cinderella, just about the entirety of that movie made right here. Yeah. Star Trek crew members, I'm telling you, Star Trek Voyager, it was the town of New Haven on the holodeck. Lots and lots of productions have filmed right here, all the way dating back to 1928. In fact, we used this area for All Quiet on the Western Front, Universal's first Oscar-winning movie. Now, we turned this area both into Germany and France for that movie. Now, how did we turn it both into Germany and France? We changed the language on the signs. Because otherwise, you would see, you'd see the trams just driving on by, which is why very often we use sound stages, right? They allow us control. And yes, in a couple of moments, folks, we're going to be heading into Sound Stage 50. Now, I should mention we're at a little over the halfway mark of the studio tour. Another friendly reminder to remain seated, but of course, if you do need my attention, there is that cord above your heads as we have dressed it up into a subway station, which is why we have the opportunity to go inside through. They built the track right on the elephant doors. Now, you'll see a lot of the lighting equipment out this way. Now, we use lights, yes, to light our actors, but also to set the mood or the tone of the movie. You got the camera a little bit further along on the dolly. That is the physical equipment that moves the camera. And then, of course, the most important part of a set, what we call craft services. It's where the snack food is. Now, they're not filming today. If they were, they'd have a whole cast, a crew, a director. They put the actors on the mark. They'd start rolling camera, rolling sound, and when the moment was right, the director might say something like, action! And then that would happen. Hold on, wait, folks. You know what? Again, remain seated and hold on. I think I just set up the special effects. Wait, that's not special effects. It's an earthquake! We're almost out of the water. I spoke too soon. You just made it through earthquake. The big one. An experience that has been on the tour since 1989. Wow, indeed. That was a perfect example of practical mechanical special effects. So I did see a couple of guys trying to put on those 3D glasses. Yeah, no, you didn't need them. That was all real. At least as real as we could make it, right? Now, I will say, no filmmaker, no director knows more about the difficulties of mechanical special effects, more so the director Steven Spielberg. And if you know anything about the making of Jaws, you'll know that the mechanical shark itself, the one that they used for the movie of Jaws, well, it kept sinking to the bottom of the ocean where they filmed out at Martha's Vineyard. They had so many mechanical issues with the shark, they also delayed the release of the movie. Jaws itself ended up becoming the frame. falling dramatically from the sky. And here to the left, yes, we've got a weather demonstration for you. Now for my front car, I do recommend you guys look a little bit more behind you on this one. We've got a road closure that is causing some skewed sightlines. Now, of course, the thunder, we normally add that in editing, right, with our music. That way we can pick up the actor's dialogue crisp and cleanly. Today for drama, we have added it. Now, the nice thing about Hollywood Rain, in order to make it stop, all you gotta say is, that's a cut. That's a cut. That's a cut. Hello? Oh, no, I forgot to mention, if you're sitting in a blue seat, there's a chance you might get wet. All the seats are blue. Now this flood, you've seen it in Big Fat Liar, Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and a band of vines on your screens.
Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. This is my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. And
we were only going to see the entrance of it, so if you missed it, that's okay. There's not much to see. We do have some of the picture cars for the production that's being filmed out there. Ironically, though, she could have just picked up a new vehicle here in Picture Car Row. Got some pretty famous vehicles out this way. Now, some of you might be wondering what happened to the owners of these vehicles. Me too. The last time I saw them, they were checking into a motel. Happened to be owned by quite a psycho. That's right. Around the corner, guys, the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s Psycho. Going fast enough. John, we are not going fast enough. You know what? Cut off the fourth car. Yep, sacrifice the fourth car. We don't need them. They're selling us down. Get rid of them! 60 grand. When you think about it, not a bad price for a plane, right? It cost them 200 grand to get it here, so yeah, shipping and handling. Yikes. No, they drove it out here, flatbed trailer trucks. The top of it cut off originally because it wouldn't fit under the overpasses as they were making their way out here. Now, not too much gets filmed out here. Ariana Grande, she was out here not too long ago making her short film and music video, Brighter Days Ahead. Looks great on screen. But I'll tell you, the top of the plane was cut off, to get it out here, but they left it that way because it's more terrifying. Yeah, you never find out what happened to the passengers of the plane. Your imagination makes the scene scarier. And of course, that technique Spielberg learned early when making the movie Jaws. It all comes full circle. And filmmakers, they still use techniques like that to this day, right? Terror, fear, imagination, including filmmakers like Jordan Peele, who have made movies like Get Out, Us, and Nope.
Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture take our lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of no.
Does a wonderful job of using sound design, anticipation, and perhaps a jump scare or two to terrify its audience. If you haven't seen it, all I will say is do not look up. You all looked up! It's a good idea, John, I think.